Yo, what's good? Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another video. Another day in the gym. Just left the gym. Not too long ago. I did back and shoulders today. But I got a little bit of sunlight left. So I wanted to make a quick video right quick before I go in the crib and do everything else I gotta do for the day. But I want to go over 5 habits that will separate you from the majority or most men. These ain't the end all be all habits. These ain't every single habit, of course, but these is like the basics. You know what I'm saying, that you should be doing. And just by doing simple things like this, you really could separate yourself from a lot of men, because most men ain't doing a lot, most of the stuff on here. So, you with me? If you could just do these things, you already setting yourself apart, which makes you more valuable, which makes you a better man, which makes you a better you. You see what I'm saying? So, I want to go over these 5 things. First thing, which I can admit, like, on man time, like, I can admit that this is something that I know I can do better at, and I know that I, am starting to get better at. But getting up early. Like I said, these is not in order, but getting up early is one way that you can separate yourself from a lot of men. A lot of people, we talking about men. A lot of men, though, because a lot of men are not getting up that early. And getting up early, I mean like getting up at like 4, 5, sometimes even like maybe even 6 in the morning. But I would say sub 6 o'clock, sub 6 a.m. Most men are not doing that unless that's their lifestyle. Like, unless like they either do that or it, depending on what time they have to go to work. Like, you know me, I worked a job where I used to have to work at 7 a.m. in the morning. So I got up real early every day just because I had to. And then, I've been through periods of time where I've gotten up early just electively, just because it's just, honestly, logically, it's the best thing to do if you can. Some people may have different opinions or whatever, but it's just my opinion. Basically, you can get so much done while everybody still sleep. Like, if you get up, let's say you get up at 4:30 a.m., between 4:30 and 5 a.m., and the average person, most people probably don't get up until like 7, 8 o'clock, right? You already have been awake 2 to like 4 hours before majority of men. You with me? So in them 2 to 4 hours, you can get a lot of stuff done. You can go to the gym in the morning. You hear me? Whatever routine you have, if it's a productive routine, you hear me? You basically already ahead of everybody. You already, because if the average dude don't get up until 8, and you already been up for 3 hours, he getting up at 8 and starting his day. He do whatever he got to do. He probably don't start his day until like 9:30. You know what I'm saying? So you already setting yourself apart. You already setting yourself ahead of most people and most men by getting up early. So that's the first tip. I plan on really getting back to that electively, probably trying to get up about 5 a.m. Right now, being honest, I get up between like 7:30. I get up about 7:30 every day, but I really want to get back to waking up about 5 a.m. just so I can get more done and I can optimize my time by getting stuff done early. Like, because I still work and have a job, and I have a business that I'm doing as well. So sometimes I be having to drop packages off of shit before work to ship out or whatever. Sometimes I try to do meetups before work. Number two, and this is one that I already practice, and that's going to the gym on a daily basis. I go to the gym. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you could see I go to the gym at least 4 or 5 times a week. Majority of men are not going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, and that's just a fact. Like, like, I think I looked it up earlier, and I don't know if this is the right number because I seen different numbers, but I seen anywhere between 20 and 30%. Only about 20 to 30% of men in America actually go to the gym. Now, if that's the case, which it could be more, I don't know, but that's just what I saw when I looked it up. But if that's true, that means majority of men are not hitting the gym. So majority of men are not even taking care of their physical health because they're not hitting the gym. They're not taking care of their physical health as much as they can because they're not hitting the gym. So let's just say that it's let's say it's 30%, right? Let's say only 30% of men hit the gym on a daily basis. Not even hit the gym, but work out on a daily basis. bro, you already put yourself with the top 30% of men just by working out. But you already put yourself in the top 30% of men just by working out on a daily basis. You already do that. You hear me? So it's like, I advocate every man, you should go to the gym, especially if you a young man and you out here. If you in like your early 20s or you like a teenager in your early 20s, I think every man, I don't care how old you are, should go to the gym. But the audience that I'm really targeting is more like younger men in their early 20s, mid 20s, maybe 30 years old, in that age range. You know what I'm saying? This is really advice for like young men. But, bro, hit the gym. Hit the gym, work out. If you can't afford a gym membership, there are plenty at-home workouts that you could do. You could do calisthenics. You could get out here. You can run to build your stamina. Like, all of that stuff, bro. You really could work out for free. Or you could work out very cheap. If you can't afford a gym membership, if you can get some dumbbells at the crib or whatever, like, it's ways that you could work out. There's really no excuse why you can't work out. So you already separate yourself from a lot of men, because a lot of niggas is not working out. They not taking care of their physical health. They just not. They either like lazy, they lazy and they probably fat, or they may be like really skinny or like real frail or whatever. And I used to be one of those guys. I used to be real frail, but I was younger, of course, too. But and I did box when I was younger, so I was always physically doing something for the most part. Hitting the gym, that's the second habit that will really separate you from a lot of men, because a lot of men ain't on that. A lot of men is not hitting the gym. It's just what it is. I don't know why. I think I know why. I mean, people lazy. People just passively live and don't really don't think about that stuff. But it's important. And if you want to separate yourself from a lot of these niggas, bro, hit the gym, work out. You already do that, because most of them ain't. You already separate yourself from, because most men are not working out. Most men are not physically fit. And that's just what it is. Reading books, and I'm gonna say reading and listening to audio books, because I do both. But a lot of men ain't here. A lot of men out here, and I don't know, maybe it's not the majority, but I believe it probably is the majority. I think the majority of people in general ain't listening to or reading a book. A lot of people are so stuck on, like, you hear me, Instagram and Twitter, like they read that stuff more than they would grab a book and actually try to learn something. So that's another way that you can set yourself apart. Like, I don't really, and I can do a video on how you can make that easier and how you can make it more enjoyable to do. You know what I'm saying? But definitely read or listen to books. You know what I'm saying? Whichever one. Get that information. Take notes on it. It makes you a lot more intelligent. It affords you to be able to speak better, have better conversations, be able to speak on different topics. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, bro, I know if you talking to some people, you talking to most people, if you really smart and you really aware, a lot of the people talk about the same shit. It's a lot of people not having intellectual conversations with anybody. You hear me? So it's like, just by doing that and learning things, and you know what I'm saying, learning things and feeding your brain the right things, you automatically set yourself apart from a lot of men, a lot of people in general. Like, a lot of people are not on that. They not on books, bro. They watching Zeus and Tubi and BMF and all that other shit. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, if that's the stuff you want to watch, that's cool. But I think you also gotta put that stuff down at some point and get back to the books. But that's number 3. Number 4, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, this is a big one. This is a big one. And I know a lot of men, probably majority of men suffer from this, and that's semen retention. Bruh, you don't even know, bro, when you just, and I'll do a whole nother video on this in itself, but first of all, men is watching too much corn. And you know what I mean? I don't know if I could say the word on here, but hear me. Dudes is watching too much corn. That's number 1. They choking the chicken too much, you hear me? And men are having too much sex as well. And I'm not going to say men are having too much sex per se, but men are releasing way too much and way too often to where, bro, you're giving your energy, bro. When you go on a semen retention, like let's say you do semen retention for a month or even a week, bro. Most men, I think most men, and I don't know if this is true, but most men are releasing daily, and a lot of these weird dudes, bro, they release it multiple times a day. Like, it's some, and I'm not even talking about they having sex. They, you hear me, choking the chicken, you hear me? Bruh, stop that shit. Stop. You a worm if that's what you're doing. You are a worm, bruh. Hear me? You are a worm. Because you gotta stop doing that. Stop. I'm not saying don't have sex. I'm not saying don't. Hear me? Bro, we men at the end of the day, I get it. But, bro, you need to go through periods of time where you just abstain from that. Abstain from sex and abstain from releasing. Because you need to, like, bro, you don't even know how powerful you are until you tap into that, until you stop releasing. I'm not saying it gotta be like you gotta do it for a year and you ain't got, nah, bro, just start at a day. If you're doing it every day, and if you're not doing it every day, start like a week, do a week. Bro, you will feel so much more powerful. You'll have so much more energy and you'll feel better. Bro, I know everybody got post-nut clarity, fool. Everybody, whether you hitting something or whether you just choking the chicken. You hear me? Every time you do that, a lot of times, majority of the time, you feel bad about it. You feel bad about the fact that you just released. And, you hear me? Bruh, go. I don't want to speak too much on it. Like, I don't want to speak too much on it in this video because I want to do a whole nother video on it. But semen retention is a way that you 100% can separate yourself from most men, because most of these niggas, if they not having sex often, bro, they choking the chicken very often, and they don't even know what it feel like to go through any semen retention. They got to do that every day. So, bro, it's niggas out here doing it 5-7 times a day. That's crazy, bro. But like I said, start off slow. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Start off with a day. If you're doing it every day, then a day turns into 3 days, and 3 days turns into 7. You know what I mean? And if you can get to a week, you can get to 2 weeks. And I guarantee you you're gonna see the difference. And number 5, and I think this is a big one too, and that's going to the doctor, bro. Going to the doctor, it's a couple things in one, but going to the doctor, researching health, and taking care of your health. Bruh, it's a lot of niggas out here that's not getting tested. They having symptoms of certain things and they not going to the doctor. So it's niggas out here walking around with STDs and don't know it, whether they asymptomatic or they have symptoms, but they ignoring them, saying it ain't nothing. It ain't even just got to be STDs, but it's just health in general. A lot of dudes is not going to the doctor, bruh. And I don't know the percentage on this, and maybe, I don't know if this is the majority or if it's half. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the stats in me on what the percentage is. However, I know that there's, because I know some niggas that's not going to the doctor, bro. They not going to the doctor. They not checking up on their body. They not taking care of their health. They not watching what they eat. They not watching what they drink. They not, in me, researching things and trying to understand what they putting into their body. You see what I'm saying? And this goes back to the working out. They not focused on their physical health. Bro, you can set yourself apart from a lot of niggas. Not a lot of niggas, but you can set yourself apart from a lot of men by going to the doctor and understanding your body. And understanding what you put in your body. And I'm getting, like, I go to the doctor. I don't even play that shit. I don't even play that. I got any symptoms of anything, I will go to the doctor. I will go to the doctor. And, bro, when I'm ripping and running and doing what I'm doing with women or whatever, bro, I'm definitely getting tested. Because you can't trust, man, listen. Let me tell you, man. You can't trust these women, bro. You cannot trust these women. Go get tested, bro. If you ripping and running and doing your thing, bro, go get tested. Please go get tested, bro. Like, get tested for HIV. Get tested for all the STDs, bro. All you got to do, you can go to an urgent care and get tested. I think they test for certain things depending on which one you go to. You need a primary care physician. Go get you a primary care physician, bro. If you have insurance, you know, and I think most people do, whether it's through your parents or whether it's through, if you under 26, or whether it's through a job, whether it's through whatever, bro. Figure out what primary care physicians are in your network for your insurance. Find you a good primary care provider, and you need to go when you young. Like my doctor, I just went a few months ago, and he basically told me like he really only need to see me like every 2 years just because of my age. As far as like an annual checkup, he said every 2 years, every year and a half is good. You know what I'm saying? Of course, if I ever have symptoms of anything, you know, I go. But, bro, niggas ain't going to the doctor, bro. Niggas ain't going to the doctor. Niggas is living wild. They got STDs. It's sometimes even worse than that. They got worse than that, bro, and they not going to the doctor. they got symptoms of stuff and they not paying attention to it. And that's for everything. I'm not just talking about, bruh, the dentist, me, like the dermatologist if you need to, like, bruh, all that stuff, like, whatever doctor, bruh. I'm not even just talking about one doctor. And the thing is, though, when you have a primary care physician, when you go to the doctor and you ask questions to your doctor can, if he doesn't specialize or he or she does not specialize in whatever you're asking about, they can go and refer you to another doctor, a specialist. So if it's your skin or whatever the case may be, they'll refer you to a dermatologist. Hear me? But there's a lot of niggas that's not going to the doctor. It's not niggas that ain't going to the doctor. So you do that, that separates you from a lot of men. I don't know the percentage. I'm not here to talk about stats and none of that. But I know some niggas myself that don't go to the doctor. So that's number 5. But I got more things that I gotta go do. I'm about to go eat, lock in these games, and hope this was a good video. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope y'all got some game from it. You hear me? But I see y'all in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe. We been consistent this time. I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna keep dropping videos. So y'all keep subscribing. Y'all keep rocking with me.